camera viewing the station from the outside for the first time swings around the station to the lab side area, and we see a circle within another circle. The secret lab restricted area is very slightly set apart by lines, and as the camera moves in, it moves through the ceiling of this orb into the hallway, which the secret door from the toilets have just been closed, and we see Director LaSalle and Officer Langdon sitting and recovering, getting ready for the last push.
Fuck.
Stand up.
Same.
Good.
No, but...
Yeah.
Let's just...
Okay.
do this.
We're gonna have to go. This corridor's gonna swing all the way around. There's a couple of doors in between. And we'll essentially come to the back of the lab and then we can walk through.
Right.
Yeah. I'll go first.
All right.
These corridors are fairly cramped. There's thick titanium walls. It's not featureless, but it's not as... there's no decoration or anything.
No. And in general, it's just a walkway for people to traverse through to get to the main lab area. And this section of it is pretty much never used.
Yeah. So I open one of the airlocks.
Yeah. And you open up the door, it slides open, you're faced with a corridor. Looks like there's a couple of sections that head off in different directions, and right to your right and left as you step in are two fairly badly lit glass kind of panels on your left and right.
Okay, we didn't come through quarantine, so there's supposed to be a warning?
Yeah, I don't think the station's exactly functioning the way it's supposed to anymore.
I reach in through the doorway and see if I can feel the panel that's there.
The glass panel?
No, through the doorway, the panel to open the door from the other side.
Right, yeah. It's
Poke my head in, see if it's like damaged or anything. And look through the glass that's essentially to the side there.
yeah, it's on the left, so as you look through, how often did Director LaSalle come to the restricted area?
Pretty often. This thing has been a sunk cost for a long time.
Yes. In that case, you know what to expect to see there. There are multiple, let's call them engorged animals that are have essentially been tossed there. Some of them have gaps and kind of gaping holes in them. They're a lot larger than usual. Science
Landon?
experiments.
Landon?
Yeah.
This is a lab. Okay, we've been testing here.
Mm-hmm.
We've been live animal testing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I step in.
Look to the left, and then I look over to the right on the other side.
Over to the left, you see the pile of animal corpses, bigger than usual. Not quite human-sized, but close. As you look over to the right, you see another glass panel, poorly lit, and in fact, as you both walk in, the lights flicker very slightly above you. They don't go off or anything, but they do flicker. And inside the panel, you see a few kind of strange ovals that are kind of almost set into the ground. A few boxes behind and everything, but the central piece are these ovals they have a little bit of an opening at the top, which is
Look at those.
So that room, has that been nested where those are? That's not supposed to be there. Is that right?
You're not sure. They weren't there before.
What? Okay, well, those egg-shaped things are eggs? But this isn't.
Not where they're supposed to be.
No.
Alright, so there's even more of them.
Not necessarily. It's not. Okay, yeah. But not.
There's more of them.
There's probably more of them here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Looking around at the vents potentially above me.
The way this part of the station is designed is a lot more intentional and secure. So the even the vents are like heavily, kind of tightly screwed and are much less accessible to people or anything smaller.
Okay, well, keep your head on a swivel, because it looks more secure in here, and if those are there, then they may not have been able to get out.
I don't understand how they did. You think she was right?
About what?
This is my fault.
I don't know. I think the company's number one, admittedly.
But I work for the company.
You do.
You see me, you see the company.
You knew it was happening. And there's clearly precautions that weren't taken. Your fault or not. People have died. Most seem to have died.
Let's just fucking end this.
Yeah.
Okay,
What
so
do we
there
need
might
to
be
do?
some around.
Yeah. I think so.
Okay, door ahead of us. Should be locked. We'll go through. There'll be two doors either side where we can get to. Well, those labs, other labs, and the main control panel. I'm gonna need to start procedure for the purge there.
Right, okay.
That's where the main experiments were taking place. If there's any here, they'd be there.
Okay. What do you need me to do?
Get me to the buttons.
Buttons, alright. Okay. I mean, if you need me to do anything, just let me know.
Let's just go slow, quiet.
Yeah. Yeah. Alright. And I follow his lead.
Okay, I'll lead him through the first door and slowly open it. But before I open it all the way, I'm gonna have a little look to make sure.
Yeah. You are headed past the offices, the labs.
Well, that first airlock ahead of us before we get to the T-junction.
The cross, yes. Okay. What you see is a few corridors. One going straight, a couple off to the left and to the right. And again, low-ish lighting. It's not an emergency lighting though. It's the regular fluorescence that the station has been bathed in until just recently. It appears that this section has a priority for power comparative to everywhere else.
We do have some self-sufficient generators underneath the floor.
Good. Would have hated for us to get here and not be able to do anything.
It's in case of emergency.
Here we are. Emergency.
I'm gonna step through the first airlock and stick my head down the corridor on the left.
Yeah, it is a pretty standard looking corridor.
Do I see any biomatter, blood, bodies? This is clean.
That's good, right?
Yeah. Considering the other room,
Yeah.
what does Lab 1 look like? Okay, follow me.
Alright.
And I'm going to start walking through past the labs to get to the door through. There's this massive blast door, blast wall. It looks heavily reinforced.
How did I get through this?
With help.
Well, maybe their own. We found they're intelligent.
I can't even get through here without access.
One of your scientists must have been hit and maybe didn't want to say anything. Who knows?
There's something else. Security in this section is mostly dead man switches.
Mostly.
I mean, lab accesses and doors are fine. Main bulkhead crossings, you'd have to close it from the inside. And that door was shut when we came in. Maybe there's people. Maybe there's people.
Let's hope.
Okay. I'm just going to walk down the main corridor, and I'll keep an eye out on the left-hand side where the labs are. But I'm going all the way down the corridor to get past this blast door.
If he's looking left, I'm looking right.
Okay. And as you look left and right, the area seems quite clean. There's no sign of blood splatters or any kind of like strange bio stuff. And you get to the blast door.
Okay, this is the main lab. You're obviously under, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter anymore.
And I'll put in a code for this and read my palm print and retina scan.
And
it should open.
Yeah, the door slides open. You're presented with a little bubble of glass that looks out into the slightly darkened area. You can see a few kind of like bits in the distance, but you haven't walked into the bubble bit. And you have to your left and right a corridor kind of walkway part that has fairly large glass panels on each side.
In the gloom, how's it looking there?
It doesn't look great. There are blood smears. There are the same strange material that you saw in the break room on the wall. You do see a few people who have been plastered up there, restrained. Their heads are slumped. You can't see their faces really, but you can see remnants of sticking out white coats, lab coats, and you can see that all of them have a exit wound in their chests.
That's Nedry, one of the head scientists.
Well,
I need to look.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
You also see that there are a set of essentially container pedestals, the majority of which also contain those eggs, the kind of oval type shapes.
Is the anomaly there?
Yes, it is in the center. And
They're okay?
the container is still closed and the egg itself is still closed. However, all of the others to the sides, each side of it, the containers are open or smashed open or not there, and the eggs themselves are open. A couple of which have fallen to the ground.
I'm gonna rush into the control room hexagon.
Yeah.
I'll follow him there.
Fully glass to be used as observation, and it has a console in the center with which you can input commands and...
I'm gonna hit the lights. I need to see what it's like in there.
Yeah, you turn the lights on, the lights fly on, and you can see the blood and the bodies and the eggs.
I don't think anyone made it, did they?
No one's gonna make it, are they?
We can't let this spread.
Fuck it. I'm gonna walk up to the panel and I'm gonna start going through emergency procedures for purge.
As you get to the console and start typing in your access code and trying to gain access to the most secure part of that console, something that's essentially never been used, would you please roll me your Comtech? As you start to input the codes, everything's going fine to begin with, but possibly you hit the wrong key or you initiate the systems in the wrong order and there is an error noise.
Shit.
What?
Landon?
What?
Go.
Go where?
Towards the main entrance.
Okay, what do you need?
Okay. Just go to the main entrance.
Why? What do you need?
I finish typing and I push him through the door and follow him.
Okay.
Just go.
What do we need? Do you need me to get codes?
No.
Fucking chemical.
No, we need to get out.
Out.
We need to get out. Right
Something,
now.
what happened?
Okay, we just need to go right now. I didn't... Okay.
You see something? Fuck.
Starting to look around.
Yeah, I saw. Did you not see the walls?
I did see the walls, yes.
There's only one that wasn't open.
Yeah.
Oh, take point, go.
Yeah, alright.
Bundle him in front of me.
Stay close.
Oh well.
Start moving.
Yeah, and
What do we need to do to purge this? Is that what you were getting?
Okay, yeah.
It's a dead man switch.
Dead man switch by the I push him through the door, and I push the switch that seals off the door in front of him.
I'm gonna try to stop him if he's gonna try to push me through. I don't want to let him just shove me out this door.
Landon, you try to hold yourself in, but you just don't get a grip, and for a second you hold your hands over the sides of the door before you get a heavy palm in the chest, and it just pushes you back. You stumble back, you hit the wall, and you see LaSalle just hit the button, and the door closes. You can see his face outlined in the glass, staring at you.
Austin, what are you doing?
Command switch.
We could figure something out. You don't have to do this. I said we'd get us out. Austin.
And you hear the...
Need to get yourself out, Landon. I'm fine.
No. You're fucking burning the lab apart. You're not fine.
As you say that, you hear a hydraulic hiss as the perspective you have on the director shifts very slightly. The station shudders momentarily, and the distance between you and him jolts very slightly away as the lab area disconnects from the main station and slowly starts to creep away from the station itself. It is detached.
I'm sorry, Landon. I really am.
What the fuck, Austin? What?
We still have the anomaly. We might not be able to salvage anything else from this. Everyone's fucking dead. Because of me. Or I can save the Alpha Egg.
You're still looking after yourself.
Byproduct.
You'd leave everyone to die just to save your
Everyone's
ass.
already fucking dead, Landon.
I hope they haunt you. You know that. Every waking moment you have.
NEV Sue, get the fuck out of here. There's no one to save. Everyone's fucking dead.
And as the escape capsule, the big orb of the lab, moves slowly away with some small jets of steam coming out of it, as the perspective of Landon and the director gets slowly and slowly further away, there's a metallic thunk behind you, Austin.
Austin.
As you turn around, you are brought face to face with a tall, hissing specimen that has dropped from the ceiling.
Oh, fuck me.
And the camera switches to Landon's perspective. We see the back of the head of the director explode and blood go all over the glass obscuring the sight. As you stand there, a few seconds pass, and then the lab itself fires and shoots up and away towards the station, where there are hundreds, if not thousands of people.
Oh, fuck. Fuck. Yeah. Got on comms, I can't contact them. They're, shit! Okay. I need to get to EVA. I need to get EVA. And, get to the shuttle. Gotta get to the station. I gotta warn them. I start just going through the list. I need to get to EVA. I need to get an EVA suit. I need to fucking get to an airlock, any airlock. I need to get to the shuttle. I need to fly the shuttle. I hope I can get to the station in time. And if I can't, I don't know what I can do. But I gotta worry about that later. Okay. Fuck. Okay. I'm gonna make my way toward the main entrance and see what it looks like before going to the toilet entrance.
You head up towards the main way that the restricted area can be accessed. The doors are open. Usually it is a decontamination area. You can see the equipment hanging down, but the room itself appears to be in some way depowered, and the doors are just jammed open.
I quietly make my way through, knowing that this area is not safe.
You make your way through and get out into a small little hallway before you see down below you a similarly jammed open access panel down into the maintenance.
Looks torn open.
It looks like it was opened by someone and programmed to stay open.
Not talking to myself out loud, because that would be a death sentence here. I make my way through chem and materials and head up toward lab storage as quietly as possible.
This section where you are leads directly into the lab storage.
Oh, okay. I didn't see. That's good to know. Oh, I see. Yeah.
And
I go directly into lab storage. I didn't know this was a door here because I didn't know there was one here.
As you enter the corridor on the side, the door is visible on this side, and as the door slides open quietly, there's a lab the lab storage area is very apparent to you. You realize that the door was itself hidden behind stacks and boxes and things along those lines.
God damn it. Okay. I gingerly step around any of the boxes to not let them tinkle in glass. And go to one of the EVA storages, look for one that's roughly my size. I begin to get it out of the case and put it on.
You open the case quietly, get the suit out, all the helmet and the pieces, start to gingerly put it on, slip inside it, get everything set up. You notice that there are two others, but at the same time, to your knowledge, there's not really anyone left alive. And even if there was, the trial to get to them and to bring them back would likely kill you and them.
Yeah. before I sling the duffel bag with food and water and secure the homemade Molotov, I do look around and I'll roll for it as I need. I'm looking for duct tape or anything. Anything's a sealant on the off chance that this gets torn by something sharp. Some creature.
The EVAs themselves do have, for the helmet especially, a quick set sealant that for small cracks and things. But you can also find some duct tape, some adhesive tape that's it's a lab storage. It has these things.
Yeah, I grab that and like clip it to whatever kind of utility belt this might have for spacewalks. Where would the closest airlock be?
It's not an airlock, but it is able to be sealed so that it won't vent the entire station. You were just there. It has an security access code, which you are cleared for.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily, in your panic, you didn't think to try and access it. If you had, when the lab decoupled, you would have been sucked out into space.
Yep.
However, now, you will have to find a way to something to hold on to or to restrain yourself so that you don't get sucked out.
Yeah. I look for rope or anything of that nature, cables.
There are some electronic cables.
Tethers. There'll probably be tethers around the EVA as well.
Yeah.
And I grab some of those, clip it to me in a couple of spots just for some fail-safes. And go back into that corridor and look for anything that could secure it. Quietly, making sure to not make any noise.
The doors to decontamination, at least the one closest to the lab area, is easily closed. And the only other point of access that would possibly be a problem would be the secret lab access that you came through in the toilets. However, that has also been sealed. So there is an extremely minimal risk of venting this part of the station. And I imagine that at this point, you probably think that also wouldn't be a terrible idea, or it wouldn't be a tragedy.
Yeah. What I'll do is I'll take this one of the tethers or cables I got. I've clipped them both to me just for the sake of it, but I put one of them in the door and then shut the door.
Yeah. Binding the door so that if there is a problem, it won't immediately just fly open.
Yes.
But,
And it'll secure me so I don't,
yes.
tumble out into space. Okay. Make my way up to the door. Look out. Probably seeing dust and things still from the propulsion.
Yes.
And enter the access code that I received.
You enter the access code, and the door slides open, and you are pulled by the air rushing out. There is a very, very quick pull until the air has almost immediately been vented. You feel like a little bit of maybe a twinge in your neck as you are pulled forward. Minimal, considering, but... And then you are floating in the hallway.
I unclip the secure tether
You
while
are
holding the main one that I have just as a backup.
Yeah.
Does this have any propulsion, these EVAs? Minor propulsion or no?
minimal, yes. In general, for any maintenance that needs to be done outside, which is very, very rarely Usually the station is brought back up to the main station to be maintained, but there are times. The tethers are used as there are multiple points as you go through, which you can traverse both parts of the station. You have to make your way out and either over or under across the laboratory part of the station into the central pillar area, and then off towards the habs, and then down the side to where the shuttle is currently docked.
Alright. I've probably only spacewalked maybe once or twice at most. It's not something Marines normally would do in security either. Probably like the basic, here's your training.
Basic training.
You know how to do it.
Yes.
And go away.
But
Like 1 day crash course. So I probably slower than I need to, but I'm not really used to this. And I choose the path over the station, trying to go up and then over and then down is the goal. So I'll see the column in the middle for the space elevator, and I'd go around that.
and as you get to the middle, you see the tubes and the big, almost space elevator pole that goes from the station, the main station, all the way down into the gas giant. You maneuver around it and over the top of the habs. You see, as you slowly shift to the side, the shuttle itself. Not giant, enough for a good 8 to 10 people, along with scientific equipment and short travel mostly.
Is the shuttle entrance open?
No.
Like the bay?
The way into the way into the shuttle would be through an access point, a airlock on top of
Right.
it.
Right, I mean the docking area where the shuttle is.
The shuttle is currently with another airlock docked to the side of the station.
I see. I see. Yes, okay. The side that we saw was sealed.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I cling onto that. I look up to see how far the lab has gotten to the main station.
It is a distant flame at best.
Okay. Alright, and then I enter my access code to get into this airlock.
Luckily, your security has been upgraded enough that very few doors are restricted to you. The airlock opens, you get inside, access code to close, it closes, and oxygen, air fills the airlock. Takes a minute, maybe 2, and then automatically the other airlock opens, and you're able to enter the shuttle.
I close it behind me before I take off my helmet.
Close it behind you, and find yourself in a functional but currently depowered shuttle.
Okay. Set down the bag of food and water. Take the Molotov out of. Glad I didn't have to use it, but was still glad I took it with me. Okay. God, do I remember how to do this? What did fucking Adams do? And I start looking around for the main boot up. Maybe there's a manual or something that'll give basic. Because I have no skill in piloting whatsoever.
So you head to the pilot seat, sit down and start the basic console access. You manage to boot up the console. However, the console itself, the controls are alien to you. As the console boots up, the rest of the shuttle lights up, and you are presented with the boot up screen that merely says autopilot path engaged. Resume Y/N question mark.
Let me see. Wonder if I can. Are there any comms connected from the shuttle directly to the main station?
You are not sure how to access them.
Shit. I guess. Fuck it. Yes. Hit Y.
The shuttle engages. You hear it start to decouple from the station. You hear the hiss of oxygen escaping as the airlock is disengaged. You hear the thrusters on the side of the shuttle push it away from the station. As it moves very slightly, you see space in front of you moving. And then the engine warms, fires up, and the shuttle moves and starts to go on a course. I'm unsure as to whether Landon was hoping that it was going to go to the station or not.
Oh yeah, that was the intention. You need to warn them.
It is not, unfortunately.
Where is it going?
As you find the shuttle setting on its course, as it points directly to one of the moons.
No. So trying to hit any buttons that look like there could be communications, anything.
You start hitting a few buttons, you start seeing what you can do. At one point, you do manage to hit a button that sets a beeping alarm going through, and up on the console comes disengage autopilot. Y/N question mark.
Fuck, I'll just be drifting. God. Oh, shit. I mean, if it's... No. I hope to God they've got communications down there. Fuck it. And I keep it going.
And you find yourself inexorably on a path through space towards the jungle moon orbiting this planet. After a couple of hours, you enter the atmosphere. The autopilot judders the shuttle slightly as you land. It's not a perfect landing. And you have landed on the moon. Unfortunately, this is not the moon where the base camp was set up. It seems that the next expedition was going to this moon for the first time, and Pariah had set in the autopilot just in case.
Fuck.
You have approximately a week and a couple of days until the Marines turn up at the station. Most likely, they will manage to track the shuttle here and come to retrieve it. You have ample supplies, and most importantly, you're not on a station filled with dangerous alien creatures trying to kill you.
Okay. Well, guess I'll do what I can. And I get out and see, well, look if there's any readings whatsoever, if there's enough oxygen, any readouts, if there's anything I can tell if I'll survive even stepping out of this shuttle or not.
From the console, again, with your lack of piloting skills, it's hard to tell. This was always something that the nerds did for you in the Marines. However, you are aware that both of the moons, in their own way, are habitable. The air is breathable and should be acceptable for at least a week or two, if needed.
Yeah. No. Open the main shuttle hatch and take a look out.
You move to the back of the shuttle. You engage the ramp. As the back of the shuttle opens, you are hit by a wave of heat. And the humidity of the jungle. And a few distant noises of some form of fauna, most likely. You step down the ramp and look around at the jungle, and we fade away. Leaving Officer Langdon by himself on an alien moon.